Uh-huh.
I see some soap.
Pardon?
Something on the floor.
Yes. This is...
We've discerned that this man was in fact poisoned and not eating the
Yeah.
soup.
We did.
No recollection at which point we stopped. Oh, we were still. Oh, this is exactly where we were. Okay. Right.
We're
We
about
just-
to start examining the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just disproved the
Oh.
soap eating fairy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now it's time to look around.
Yeah. What's that on the floor?
On the floor, what, this?
That's not what I meant, but let's go with yes.
What did you
That's
mean,
his
this?
hat, I do believe.
That. Oh, it's his hat. Okay, we're
think
going.
it is
In that
his
case,
hat.
look at the thing that turns blue when you look at it.
Hey!
Brilliant, or whatever.
It appears to be
It's
glass.
a piece of an envelope.
Ooh. What's this? Ooh.
Ooh. Welcome back, Uwato.
Ooh. What's this?
It looks like part of an envelope, I think.
Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened.
Is that significant?
Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps, when you look around the room. There's no sign of a letter or the rest of the envelope intact, is there?
That was bad
Ah.
sentence.
She's right.
Put the breaths in the wrong place.
And yet, here we have the torn off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual.
I agree. We better take this just in case.
Well, let's just shove it in the court record.
Here we go. Give it to me.
Alright, guess. Can we look at the gas meter?
I was
Because
gonna say, why does the gas meter have a padlock on it?
to stop people fiddling with the numbers.
And here we have another disproportionately large machine. This looks like a meter of some kind.
Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins.
Ah, I see. Yes, now you've pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here?
That's right. It would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating.
So if you were a poor person with no money, you could have gold?
Hmm.
Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank.
Yeah.
Say,
Thank
who are
goodness
you?
there's
who
no
are
meter
you
in our office.
Thank goodness
aiming
we're
that
not in,
at?
thank goodness we're not in a time where there's a fucking
Gas
economic
crisis.
crisis. Yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine how shit that would be.
Oh,
let's watch the radicalization of Runoskade.
there you go. Leads along here.
Yeah.
This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall.
Gas lights, a gas stove. London really is a city of gas.
But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they?
Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there.
I love that you even had the noise of Sisato hitting her fist into her palm.
Yeah.
Like, there's such good attention to detail in this element.
It's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier.
What is the boarded up bit of wall? Oh, not anything
there's
important.
nothing
Nothing particular of note.
Hmm.
particular of note. That's
think
the
we're gonna
new
have to-
no clues here, is it?
Scooch around.
I guess we've looked at this already.
What's the thing
Sure.
under the table? Like his foot?
That is indeed his foot. I think
Okay,
that
maybe
counts
it's
as
just-
part of him.
Examine his
Okay.
foot.
Do we care about his hats or his costume or his
Oh,
darned shirt in the background?
the poor man, so young to die.
I could not say that in a more sarcastic way if I tried. I'm sorry. Oh no, he was so young. Anyway.
Oh, what a terrible shame.
Do you suppose it was a very painful death, being poisoned as he was?
I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life.
I don't think he was Buddhist. Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul?
Go, man.
I made sure I had a reference at the ready for just such an occasion as this, actually.
In case we saw someone recently there.
This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way.
What?
What, you mean you don't?
The guide
Oh.
was
Yeah, but it's
recently
in
deceased.
Japanese, so, but it's the Japanese prayer in British.
I'll just reread it now.
Mm.
One moment.
There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there?
Fair enough.
She's got a book for every occasion. I love that about her.
What are you saying? Knees, Julie?
Yeah. And the papers on the wall and the darned shirt. I'm sure these things aren't important, but you know.
Look at these extravagant, bright costumes. Somehow they look out of place in this room with this grim, shady goings on.
This one looks like a king's attire.
A king? I've always dreamt of being a king.
Oh, I think you'd be more suited to a feudal lord, a daimyo or such like.
Brutal.
But they call mage tonknot. Every Japanese man wears a siete con mage.
Oh, you'd look wonderful with one. And you already have the sword.
Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a con mage and a sword?
Nothing good, I imagine.
Everyone would
he would be
swoon.
arrested.
Male and female, we would all swoon.
As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax that Britons had to pay. I hope that doesn't come back.
Oh.
God, can you imagine?
Christ.
What strange things they used to tax in Great Britain.
Used to.
Used to.
I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in their property. Extraordinary.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen again.
man, imagine if they made you
sure
pay
hope it
for
doesn't.
Wait, there are so many windows in my
Some
house.
kind of
There are
tax.
so many windows in my house.
I
Would be a
live in a
shame if
house,
someone were
I
to
only have access to one of the
tax them.
windows.
Anyway,
It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh,
What is it, Mrs. Sato?
if you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose.
you can sort of see it. The
Yeah.
mortar's gone.
For a breath of fresh air?
And there's more soap.
Uh,
It looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here.
That doesn't look like an amateur. That's a very professional
Are those
job.
bars of soap?
Yes, more
Yes.
soap.
More soap. It's
Good
clearly
lord.
This is gotta be like a
Meth.
drug smuggling thing, right?
Clearly meth.
Hmm.
soap
Or
smuggling.
caramel.
Was it Mr. Shamspeare
It's
who did it, I
caramels.
wonder? Being the lodger renting this room.
Caramel is coat soap.
Look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it.
What, outside?
Soap.
I'll have to look again.
Yeah, apparently.
You know, okay.
It's so cold outside. You can feel it through this cap.
It did snow all last night. It would be cold.
Right, just let us look at the soap.
Maybe
But
he had
more
like an Etsy
importantly-
business on the side.
What is it on the ledge out there? What are the snow-covered lumps?
It's more bars of soap.
Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window?
I have no idea. But the pair of them look rather charming like that.
So,
Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window.
This is one of the weirder investigations we've done.
Hmm.
The whole thing, yeah.
I think perhaps we should take one. There are two, after all.
Oh dear. I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at this soap.
Ah,
Do you see? In the middle there? There's a patch that's different colour. It's
the squash stuffed on
it's
it.
sort of transparent, but
some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain. Looks like a
Looks
wax
like-
seal.
Does
Yeah.
look like a wax seal.
it looks like the Hinomaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful.
I think I mispronounced that.
I
it's
think that was-
probably a very expensive brand.
Expensive. And what's it doing in this ramshackle old room?
I have a feeling it's been hollowed out
Mm.
and something put inside. Probably not
Hmm.
drugs, but drugs would make sense.
Hmm.
Just because I don't
The
think
OG
they really.
Imperial leather.
Yeah. Yeah. God, that's such
Caramel.
trash imperial leather.
Mm.
What I
Uh,
grew up on. What's in that? What's in the
Caramel
cupboard?
or something.
What's
We
in the
can go to
cupboard?
the side, you know.
What's in the cupboard?
Oh, we can. I'll
Yeah,
look
we
in the
can.
cupboard. And we'll pop to the side.
There's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. And both of them are cracked.
Yes, not much use, are they?
Keep my instincts to myself next time.
What's the matter?
Oh, I was just reminded of the reap.
Oh.
Sorry. I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all.
Prosecutor Lord Van Zeeks?
Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste, and that he should donate some to the needy.
You can suggest it next time we meet.
Yeah.
Next time we see him, I'll say that.
Mm.
You're like, you're so fucking wasteful.
Got over here.
It's a set.
This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it?
Where does the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances?
Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office.
What?
Then you could practice your art every single day.
I'll think about it. If you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge.
Well, if that would help you achieve your goal.
Oh, Susato.
This, I have to see.
Bless you.
I'm doing
The old-
scan. Scan.
Now we're gonna look at the giant fucking castle set piece, or are we just?
No, we
okay.
just
We already
looked
have.
at that. Yeah,
Oh, dear. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
would
was
think
the-
there was more to it than that, but no.
Didn't
Yeah.
even mention the fact it was a
What about the
castle.
king costume in the corner? Is that anything?
We've done that.
We've looked at that as well, yeah.
Whoa. Oh, I clicked on it again, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah,
You're
through
proceeded
those
to a
sketchbook.
fool.
Did we look at the corpse? Oh,
We did. We
cup.
haven't looked at the
the
cup.
cup. God damn, that's gonna be it, isn't it?
Ah, one of the teacups that Mr. Shamsmere and his guests drank from last night.
I guess we're gonna take
But
it.
don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside.
I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, both the cups are empty.
That's true. So, one was Mr. Shamspear's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from.
But Saseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take those so we can examine them in more detail later.
Alright, there you go.
Yay.
2 teacups. That
And
was
that was
it.
it. That was it.
Hmm.
Looks like you're
Uh,
having
is
a
that-
good snoop around, eh?
Gonna say, I assume
I
it's
think.
great.
With backup.
Inspector Gregson? Back so soon?
After I threw that little Japanese fella in the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard.
Oh, I see. Well, we'd better be leaving then.
With this evidence we've stashed in our pockets.
Oh, Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low, being back in a cell again so soon.
I'm sure. We should probably go.
Ah! Oh
And-
god! Oh god!
Oh, that's terrifying.
Have a yawn, have a stretch.
We should probably go and...
What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
You look like you've seen a ghost.
What the fuck?
What
What
the
the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, who wants to be a dramatic twink?
I'm sure we had someone for him, but I can't remember who. Because he did briefly show up.
I think it was me. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Ouch,
I mean, any which way,
Oh.
you got a great line in Dramatic Twink.
Yeah.
thank you. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player. Damn. That struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Now, how soundeth the next part?
It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Oh, bless you.
Gross.
Indeed. Oh, happy days.
Is he actually? Is he dead? Is he dead?
What? Walking Dead!
What the fuck, man?
Zombie are you? Great Ace Attorney? Okay.
Was he actually dead?
The fella isn't dead at all.
But this man's dead.
What nonsense he was saying, though.
That wasn't nonsense. It was
Oh,
Macbeth.
I think, yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth, bitch. A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5.
Shakespeare.
I've never been in Macbeth. I've only been in Cahoots Macbeth, which is a great play.
I've never actually studied Macbeth. It's the play I know the least out of the ones you'd study at GCSE or A level.
Oh yeah.
I did Macbeth like a little bit, but I was mostly like I don't really like olden wording and stuff flies right over my head most of the time. So yeah, just kind of
Yeah, I was lucky when we did Romeo and Juliet at GCSE. We watched Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, which I was
Oh,
already
that's-
obsessed with.
Well, that's one of the best renditions of Romeo and
It's
Juliet.
so good. It's so good. And then we went.
It's one of the most
to-
accurate to
Yeah.
stage directions and the
Yeah,
interpretation.
so good. So good. It's such a good job of using the language, but having it be like obvious, evident what they're saying by how they are. And anyway, and then I saw it performed as a play. But for GCSE, they took us on a trip to Oxford and we watched West Side Story.
Oh, that's nice actually. It's a good way of
Yeah.
doing it.
So we read the play, but we watched 2 different versions of the story.
Yeah, it still counts, I think.
To
I mean,
yeah, no, it was entirely like a how do we help 16-year-olds understand this?
yeah, no, it
15-year-olds
works.
understand.
I mean,
So-
we went in A level. We went to go see The Changeling by Middleton and Rowley, which is one of the less known Renaissance plays, but still pretty popular for a non-Shakespeare play. And this was a fairly modern interpretation. And about towards the interval, they danced to Beyonce's "Single Ladies" and had a food orgy.
Oh.
Which it wasn't surprised.
Wait,
You might
hang
be
on.
surprised to know it wasn't in the original text. That bit.
Hmm.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure I studied it.
Are you sure that wasn't in the original text? Having
Well,
an orgy to Beyonce.
But yeah, it really wasn't. No.
Sounds
Middleton and Rowley were pretty good with stage direction, so you'd think they'd put something like that in.
I think for high school we went to go see like an Inspector Calls, which was actually really fucking enjoyable.
I
Oh,
love
Inspector
that play.
Calls is a great play.
So good.
I love that play.
Very
I
easy to
bought-
teach, very easy to write stuff on.
Yeah.
we
the one
did,
thing
we did
is-
that for GCSE as well,
Mm.
and we went to see it.
The one thing is that like we all when we were doing it for GCSE, she cast people as different characters. I got cast as like the girl who gets proposed to, and the class clown got cast as the one doing the proposing. So he really hammed it up. He got like a Haribo ring out of his pocket and everything. And like everyone was laughing and I was just there like fucking, oh my god, okay, fine. And then like my teacher, apparently who's been in a similar situation, got very triggered about it and went on like a 30-minute rant about how we were all Nazi sheep. And
Jesus.
What?
yeah. To be fair, it was mortifying because I'm very sure that he was just doing it because you're ugly, it's kind of thing. But yeah,
God,
like,
what a
it was still excessive.
twat.
bits. Yeah.
Well, the worst that happened was in A level when we were doing the Angela Carter Bloody Chamber. We'd read a page each, and my English teacher orchestrated it, so I would have to say "cunt."
Okay.
This happened twice, and he did it on purpose because obviously you all know my reading voice. It's the very early episodes of Clockwork Bird is basically my reading voice. So he just really wanted to hear me say "cunt."
Well, there you go.
And everybody, and at that point I rarely swore. Everyone just fucking lost it, including me.
Yeah, I had a friend who just did not swear at all through high school, and so occasionally we'd be reading, and someone would pass like the next reading on to her or something, and there was a swear. She would never say it, and I was just like, just get it over with, babes.
Anyway, bit of a segue there.
Sorry.
Right.
So it was that the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare, came back to life.
Hmm.
If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him.
Maybe he had eaten soap.
Alex, get out of my head.
No.
That was literally my immediate thought upon reading that sentence.
Yes, it was mine too. Quietly.
He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that now was.
That's
Attempted murder.
attempted murder. Yeah.
Yeah, like
So,
Or accidental self-poisoning. Just
who the
Yeah,
fuck
I
is
guess.
that?
who is this
Depending what
fellow?
actually happened,
Who
yeah.
is this Luigi?
Yellow gentleman.
Yellow Luigi.
Oh, yeah.
Yellow Luigi.
Yellow Luigi.
Whatever do you think will happen now?
Good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume. Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life.
I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely Mr. Shamspeare did consume poison, as we deduced. But was it an accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody.
I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Uh-oh. What's this?
Zoom.
That beard.
What's that man doing over there? My god, he has an enormous chin. He looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's lodgings.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Excuse me. Could we have a word?
Oh, dear.
Oh, he's fucked off.
Oh, he's fucked off.
He just ran off.
It's like a bee.
Did look very
I
bee.
feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it? He didn't get a good enough look, so it's probably a witness or something in a previous case.
Oh, the snowman's back.
Aw.
It is. I do too, but I don't remember.
Now I can have an examine.
Hmm.
Yay!
Yes.
Why has somebody built this snowman on some sort of pedestal, do you think?
That's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruhodo. That's part of the snowman's body.
Really? But it already has a perfectly good body.
Well, it's true that British snowmen are usually made of 2 balls of snow. Perhaps this is a foreigner.
Are they normally made of 2 balls of snow? I guess
And
they
now
are.
we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man. I know how he feels.
Can't believe we're being snow racist.
Snow pineapple.
Yeah.
If anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it?
Phrasing.
After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs.
Do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much?
Never. Fucking never.
Alright.
Can
What
you
is
examine
this?
the area where he was, see if he left anything?
There's like a green thing on the
What's
windowsill.
this?
That's
It's the bar of
soap.
soap, I believe.
Ah.
With the exception of the top floor where Mr. and Mrs. Gary Deb live, all the windows are bricked up.
Yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows a property had. In
Yes,
order
so-
to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows.
I thought that we were already over this. But the text has been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again, surely.
Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to have the work done. Blah.
Yes, that is a sad state of affairs.
Especially for poor people like Mr. Natsume who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room.
I suppose it's the price you have to pay for living in very cheap accommodation.
It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that.
Pointless, like, discussing this over again when we literally just did about 10 minutes ago. I feel like that last line was just a little bit of lampshading from the writers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good lord.
There always seem to be there always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garabdeb residence. I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact.
That one seems very warped, though. Especially the front wheel.
Yes, Rimsky, that's exactly what it is.
Is that to make it more of a challenge to ride, do you think?
No, I'm afraid that may be a result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid the rider may have been similarly afflicted.
Damn.
Oh dear.
Then there's a good chance Mr. Natsume has been practicing on this bicycle, I think.
Oh dear. I fear you may be right.
Ow.
Yikes.
Damn. Alright.
Should we
Where should we
go?
Go.
Well, we can go to the prison.
A new location has
Also
been
go
added.
to the Garadeb's room as well.
Do you know, I don't believe we've visited this place for some time.
Yeah, so they're still questioning it. So
okay.
Garadeb's first, I think. We can't go back to the room.
No.
That's just a fucking cannon.
Yeah. It looks
Here
a
we
little
are again.
looks a little neater than it did.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
Which is ironic considering that Joan is in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Garadeb has been dressing up as the maid, and
I was gonna say.
Clearly.
yeah, that's why the maid's dress is still there.
Did you say something to me?
No, sorry, Granny.
On the thing.
It's alright, no problem. Sleep well.
Sorry.
Bless. Here we are again. The eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode.
Mm.
We're here because Mr. Garadeb's the one who discovered the incident this morning, don't forget.
Well, thank you for
That's-
reminding me,
that's why
Cecilia,
we're
because
here.
I genuinely forgotten.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, there he is.
Ah! You chaps! Hey!
Hello, Moon Man. Yes, good morning, sir.
No, it's good. It's nighttime when I turn my head like this. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday.
It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Garadeb as anyone else, really.
Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday.
My God, it really is one thing after another.
Didn't expect to wake up to more bally nonsense this morning.
I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Garadeb.
Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor chap in the ground room floor. Can I pace my sentences like a human?
Those were exactly Inspector Greggson's words, weren't they?
Oh, he's getting out of his
Oh
chair.
god, he's
Oh.
up.
No more moon for you?
It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I heard that you discovered when it happened.
Ah! Well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. At 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but no bally answer.
And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door?
Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course.
Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept.
That's very true, Mr. Naruhodo. If 30 minutes is oversleeping warranted such behaviour, I'd have to kick your door down every morning.
Well,
Dude.
you know, better to be safe than sorry and all that.
No, you're a shitty landlord, innit?
Is it just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden?
Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door.
The victim's name is Mr. Shamspear, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, William Shamspear. Took the ground floor room 3 months ago now.
And how would you describe him?
In a word, destitute.
Destitute?
Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has a bloody screw loose.
So hard to choose which category Saseki-san was falling to.
Damn.
My money is on C, both of the above.
Mr. Naruhodo, that's a little rude.
He was doing research as well.
Research? Into what?
Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare. Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that.
Hamlet.
Mm.
Yes.
Romeo and
That's the
Hamlet.
one I read
Romeo
most regularly.
and Hamlet.
Hmm.
Yes, William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao in Japanese, as you know, and many of his works have already been translated.
It seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Someone was too heavy-handed there. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there?
Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shamspeare would have had much in common.
Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope it's not that.
Mr. Naruhodo, really, how rude.
She can actually read his thoughts, or he's just saying it out loud. I don't know which one's funnier.
Yeah, I feel like he's saying it as if it's an aside, rather than actually thinking it.
Yeah.
After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, did you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning?
Well, now, must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily, as I remember, and it was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was out at the time.
Mr. Gary did notice that there was no light from his room or something, I suppose.
Couldn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of a fire up here. It was after 8 before Shamspeare got back.
Shamspeare?
And the chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. Suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there.
Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Is everything alright, Mrs. Sato?
Well, I was just thinking. It's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garadeb, you were up here in your room all evening, if I've understood correctly.
Not a big fan of stairs. Not with this blasted leg.
Fucking mood, bud.
Then, how is it you seem to know? The precise movements of your tenant on the ground floor, I mean.
Ah!
Talking.
Oh god, he's doing it.
That's a very
He's
good
frozen.
point. I can't imagine that you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it?
Yes.
I
absolutely.
say! I know what you're thinking, and it's a bally outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I?
I mean, you said it, not me.
Then, how did you know, Mr. Garadeb?
It's the gas, woman. The gas tells me everything.
Uh-huh.
The gas.
Hmm.
Speaking gas.
Speaking gas.
What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you anything, let alone everything?
Like that one episode in Doctor Who.
Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes.
Yes, I'd more or less worked that out.
Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main.
She's just like a font of knowledge.
Hmm.
He knows it all.
Yes, I understand that too.
Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose would happen?
Well, obviously the room would get brighter.
Exactly. But at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment.
What? They dim? Why?
Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual, and that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mightn't it?
Yes, of course. Because everything's connected to a single supply pipe.
Is that supposed to happen, though? It sounds rather undesirable.
Jolly good point. The fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless, long worn out, and barely got any gas in them to start with. Opposite's also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here and they glow brighter in the rest of the house.
Ah, right, I see. So by watching the flickering of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere.
You've got it.
Oh, of course. Because when people come back home in the evening and before they go to sleep at night, what they've guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires.
Clever.
In point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it use slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house.
I feel like he's done this too much.
Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Garrett. Absolutely fascinating.
Oh well, nothing to it really. Big Brother is watching.
And I can't really see that it's going to help us with the case, either.
No, Rinosk, you should know by now, if anything's being explained this much, it's going to be a massive part of any case.
What I'd like to know is why Mr. Garridev is so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we got to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again.
A good idea.
Fair enough.
Alright, let's fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's fuck off.
Goodbye, Moon Man.
Goodbye.
Oh,
Aww.
Natsume.
Oh, buddy.
Oh
He's
boy.
so sad.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now?
Here he comes.
Sorry, my flatmate was in the hallway and I was just there like, I don't want to do this when someone's fucking listening. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Oh, yes?
What is he? Tell me! Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me?
Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes.
He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost.
But his diabolical deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Gassed, I'm telling you.
Well, that sort of hurts.
Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the deduction too.
Yes. Moving on. We have some wonderful news.
Huh?
The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again.
Now, in the absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume?
It's terrible!
Oh no.
Oh!
I'm stuck in the cell, suffering for some silly wrong end of the stick! You did it, didn't you? Confess, you're a killer. Why the mustache? Constant questions!
I'm sorry to hear that.
Ah, the selfish shyster! Give me your mind! Are you dead or alive? And if you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? Diddly wishy-washy William!
On a first name basis, were we?
Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamsphere was never dead in the first place.
Ah, yes, that might make sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamsphere, didn't you?
I'm not saying another word. I demand to have a lawyer present.
Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story.
Why am I cursed like this? Fine.
Oh, poor guy.
He's so tired.
Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume?
There's nothing to tell. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me with that accursed case yesterday.
The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back.
it's hard to believe that was only yesterday. Feels like it was a whole game
Actually,
ago.
feels more like,
Oh.
yeah, entire time. After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lonely lodgings. That evening, at 9:30, it must have been, I visited Mr. Shamsphere.
So, you did go to the victim's room then?
Mhm. As we feared.
Oh, sorry. Was not me lying. I didn't do anything wrong. I've never been to his room before. It was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Then, what made you decide to go?
Mhm.
I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting, and it developed into a discussion, and then more than a discussion, and then there was a bed involved. Had to go out, so I bade him farewell.
That ties in with what Mr. Gary Dev said. That the victim went out and came back after 8.
We met again later that evening, at around 9 or just after, where I took him some tea I'd brewed as a gift.
So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then?
And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet! Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate.
Juliet.
Personally, I think Juliet was hench as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Such a simulating subject, Shakespeare.
Skay!
God.
And the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison into Mr. Shamspeare's tea?
No, never. Not at all. Him Juliet won. That was me. And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit. I swear it, categorically.
Best existence.
Tsunatsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence.
I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before. Been here in Great Britain for a year now. And in that time, I've learned it's no place for me. Fucking sucks here, my guys.
It can be hard trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture.
There are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me. They all laugh. It's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite from my fears. I've moved more times than I could remember. And then, 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road.
But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable.
Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money, it spoke to me.
The rent?
Obviously, the reason why it's cheap is the room is cursed.
Cursed? Cursed how?
The previous occupants, and who lived there before I took the room, died there.
Oh no!
He was only a young man. One morning he was found dead. No one could explain why.
Carbon monoxide poisoning.
I was gonna say, Alex can explain why.
How weird that this has happened. This crazy thing we all saw coming.
Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that.
And that's most rooms in England, let's be real.
Yeah.
I didn't. The letting agent recommended the place. I wavered. But I want books! And books cost money! Horrible history is a small price to pay.
Very valid.
And I realised it would mean I could buy more books. I'd find the lease like lightning.
Brave? Or blinkered?
But after I moved in, I soon came to realise what I'd done. I realised how horrible that room's history really was.
Gosh, was it really so awful?
Horrible history.
Horrible history.
How did this room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened?
There was a talking rat puppet in the corner making food jokes. And at first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me.
Do you think that might have just been your mind playing tricks on you?
No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. One long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place.
A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean?
hide in that room, lean over me in my sleep, and try to strangle me.
That really is horrible.
If this isn't carbon monoxide poisoning, I will be so surprised.
Yeah, mood. And I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Mr. Shamspeare was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room.
You're probably being suffocated, alright?
Yeah.
You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right. I know it. And that's why I'm already searching for my next room with a history to call home.
Just go back to Japan, man. Just go.
Yeah, just leave.
I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all.
Get something nice and new.
Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history.
Oh my god.
Phew. Susata-san knows how to make the man listen.
That is true.
Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse of my room as well.
You mean Mr. Gary Depp?
Yes. He knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again.
Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near that place.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps that may explain why their landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movements.
You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in their pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let rooms.
What do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps?
Uh-oh.
Oh dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please forget I said anything.
Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well.
What's important is that Mr. Shamsphere isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come round and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released.
Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Mystery voice.
Whoa.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Inspector Gregson.
Oh, I couldn't help overhearing what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news.
As he directly names Saseki as the person who attempted to murder him, I wonder.
Which do you want first?
Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle.
Well, in that case, the good news it is. Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way.
Why did you offer?
Yeah.
Why did you ask for my preference?
As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shamspear, was just unconscious. He's come round now.
Yes, we saw it happen in all its terrifying glory.
He's still being treated by the doctors, but we've managed to get a written statement from him already.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume?
Is it? We don't know.
Thank goodness. It's all over then. I can leave this somber cell.
Sorry, no. That's not on the cards.
Mm-mm.
What?
Why ever not, Inspector?
I thought that was me.
Mr. Shamspear has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night.
Gee, I wonder who implicated someone.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
You don't mean?
I'm sorry to say, I do. Yes. He's pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. By sweet poison did he seeketh to end my life. That
Jesus.
wickedest Caitiff. Soseki Natsume.
Goodness sake.
No.
So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. But you'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations.
Oh, Lord. Well, now we gotta go back to fucking court.
Boy.
And so, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him.
To be continued. Right now.
There we go. Yeah, we made it.
Nice. Love
Yay.
that.
Do you think the prosecutor's antechamber is exactly the same but flipped to the left?
It's exactly how it is.
Yes. The Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange. I seem to get chills down my spine and break out in a nervous sweat all the time. Well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon.
I'm
Don't know
assuming
who's
that's...
saying that.
I
Shows?
guess,
I think it's Natsume.
I thought it was Natsume.
Yeah,
though,
Natsume. Natsume, yeah.
Mine.
Oh,
yeah.
bless him.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Natsume.
It was only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here.
Yes, we somehow managed to prove you didn't stab Miss Green in the back.
But now this! Another morning, another time again in this hellhole.
That is insane.
Can't keep coming to court.
I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Okay, bad news,
Oh.
Barrett.
Oh. Mr. Natsume, good morning.
Yes. One.
So, here we are again.
Yes. Again.
Mhm.
Judicial Assistant Mikatoba Esquire! What's the bad news?
Oh dear. You heard, did you?
You've been shouting at the top of your voice. People can't hear what you say. I do it all the time.
I am sorry.
You've done nothing wrong, Mrs. Sato. Now what is it?
Well, it seems the prosecution in today's trial. You'll never fucking guess. Will be led by Lord Barak von Zeeks.
Van Zeeks? This is a total and utter surprise to me.
Yeah, it's such a surprise, isn't it? We've
I
never
know,
seen
so
this man before.
He's the only prosecutor that lives in London.
Having a little
the thing where
flashback.
we pretend we haven't played the first game yet again, aren't we?
Game.
I mean, we can
remember
run
a
rush
first
through it
game.
if you'd like.
There wasn't a first game. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
The so-called
Exactly.
Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land.
He points at people.
Here's
Yes,
some
yes,
looks.
very gay.
Soseki-san and I relentlessly.
We know he's. Oh,
Of course, by the skin of our teeth. We managed to pull through, but still.
That was his Vogue cover.
Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter. After all,
Yes, I know what you're thinking. The legend of the Reaper that says nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Van Zeeks is the prosecutor.
from you, Renuske.
Oh,
that even if the
Oh,
person
wait.
is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end in one way or another.
And we've experienced it firsthand.
We did find out what happened there, though.
true.
A man we successfully defended met the most terrifying end after his acquittal. Right here in the Old Bailey.
Ah, who do I have to put up those? Fuck me. I have to put up with those ice cold eyes boring into my soul again.
Just don't look
Yes.
at him.
First my evil spirits, and now the Reaper. I have petrifying petals potentially.
Well, if it's potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsume.
Pit.
Look, I'm a student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Yes?
I'm innocent. You have to believe me. You want anyone now?
He's doing the anime eyes.
Yeah, please. Look at me, I'm Puss in Boots.
Don't worry. I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle. I promise. And this promises to be a hard battle, I fear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the trial is scheduled to begin shortly. We should move into the courtroom.
Let's go.
Oh yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it. Mr. Sholmes, I mean.
What else is he doing?
Oh,
Oh, I've been stabbed.
again.
That's probably for the best.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help.
What help?
And what could be seen as a weakness. If Lord Van Zieks were to notice, he'd prey on it mercilessly.
But it would be worth it for the stupid banter they'd have.
Would be so worth it.
At least, that's my gut feeling.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, you feel so right. Oh, well said, local mutant student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I didn't fuck that up at all. Well said.
I swear on this sword at my side, I am the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lawyer can do. I'll set you free. With honor.
Sorry, did you just say that your sword
Yeah,
is
let's
possessed
fuck
by
him
the
up.
spirit of your dead boyfriend?
Oh yes!
Yes,
Oh,
my lord.
yes.
Nothing, carry on.
Thank you.
Let's go.
It's not like this is a plot point in a Locktoon series or anything. Anyway.
9:40 a.m.
Ooh, is it the
9:40
same
a.m..
fucking jury?
In the name of Majesty the have I declared we in the same.
Welcome back, Your Honour. Your Lordship,
Woo!
sir.
Yes, it's me. I now call upon the counsels for prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Some water.
Good lord.
Declare
yes,
what?
please drink.
Oh.
Someone wake up the
Oh my
bat.
god, you dramatic golf vampire bitch!
Yes, hello, Mr. Vampire.
Oh god.
Already you're off to a great start.
I forgot that he does this pose.
The prosecution is ready.
Ah.
The defense is ready, my lord.
Readiness for the trial, my learned Nipponese friend, is not what the defense needs.
Let me guess, we need a miracle.
What you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat. Yeah, starting early with a trash talk.
I don't know, it's not happened yet. Yeah.
It's not just in my imagination, it's really there. Lord Van Zieks has such an animosity towards us Japanese for some reason.
Racism.
Racism.
It was some time ago that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. Years, he hasn't appeared in court at all.
Yet now he's back in the courtroom. But for some reason, only when I'm defending.
Yeah, weird that, isn't it?
This Reaper, with his curious disdain for us Japanese, is a prosecutor shrouded in mystery. Still, this isn't the time to be pondering that. I have to concentrate on Soseki-san's trial.
Furthermore, I I now call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You have been chosen at random.
Random.
To represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty?
Absolutely. I had a feeling this larrikin wasn't innocent before.
Ah, yes.
Is this the same jury? I don't think it is.
He was the same.
No, I think so. Actually.
I think it's a lot of people from.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it might be the same. You know.
I think it is.
He was the same.
I don't think. I don't.
I don't know about
Yeah,
her.
it's been a while. Who voiced her? Was it me or you, Elliot?
I think it was you.
Is she not new?
Okay. I couldn't remember.
We had the maid,
what voice did I
didn't
do?
we? This is not the maid. This is just.
I was the maid. Yeah. No, this is. I mean, if it's me, I'll take it. I don't mind.
I must say that I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat refuses to sit right.
Okay. This guy?
It was. Oh God, I think it was you.
Oh, this was me.
Oh.
Who was he?
Well, there's one interchange because obviously Jonah's now in jail.
Ah. Is it otherwise all the same?
I'm gonna have to see the last two, but I think it is.
Fair enough.
Oh, well, I rather like how you're wearing your hat. I think the ruthless look is very fetching, actually.
Oh, she's new.
Jeez,
Look at her
Ooh,
feathers.
Milf, please let me do a milf.
Yeah, go for it.
Melt it up. Melt it up.
Elliot.
I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick.
Oh.
Oh, you're going to be sorely disappointed, madam. And yes, it's literally the exact same jury, just with this woman instead of Joan.
I see. I see. That is. I see.
At random.
Who was this? Who was?
I think
Who was this
me
guy?
Last time.
Yeah,
That was Aaron,
that's-
yes.
Very
Yeah.
mumbly.
There you go. Yeah.
I couldn't people. I need to take home 5 bob tonight, or Mrs. will go through the roof.
That's the one.
Understand the word that man said.
Yeah, I need a second day in a fucking row.
This man has been in all of the fucking trials.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I knew his fault. Oh, his verdict.
I think the only one this old guy wasn't in was the one the old lady was in.
Oh yeah.
The British jury system is so very different to our own, isn't it?
What, because they keep choosing people from random and it's exactly the same 5 people?
It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of judgment is in the hands of 6 members of the public.
It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of judgment is in
And
the
that
hands
the
of
judge-
one.
And the judge can only pass sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defendant's guilt.
And it's always these
No,
jurors.
no majority verdict, please. Yeah, then.
6 citizens of London chosen at random. Or at least that's the idea.
The first 6 people that turn up and like outside the gate.
And the
I mean, like,
prosec-
they're chosen from the electoral roll, except except women don't have the vote
There's
yet.
only
assuming
8
that
people
the
on it.
court- Listen, maybe the court, like the person to pick it,
Yeah.
is just like, oh, I don't want to fucking go for the entire register again. I'll just like pick the first 6 people I can find.
Right, hang on, this one's in prison. I'll pick
It's like-
someone else.
Yeah. It's like a BBC actors room, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The prosecution
find
would
this-
draw.
Sorry.
It's alright. The prosecution would draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for duty today.
Oh, okay.
Really? That's
At
not
least
fair.
this time, yeah.
That feels like
At
the
least this
exact
time we have-
opposite of how that should work.
Well,
Yeah.
except
Well,
it
at
is
least-
how
at
it
least-
should work. It is what happens, like, if you do your 2 weeks jury
Yeah.
duty and then
Yeah, fair. You are on
and
there
you
too.
have one case that only lasts a few months, like a few days, then they potentially will use you for the rest of the time. But they definitely wouldn't use you if you'd just been in a trial, including one of the people who was then in the second trial.
Yeah, exactly.
You
That's
would
what I was
absolutely be
driving at.
dismissed. Yeah, sorry.
All of you assume that also the trial would happen like in the exact same time frame. Trials take ages to get through.
Yes, as Tony and I both know, you can get called for jury duty, sit around for 3 days, and not actually do any juring. Very well. Let us commence this trial. Oh no, we're going to see if we can. Okay.
No, stay in South Africa. I love your South African voice.
Okay. Well, I'll do my best.
Yeah.
South African judge.
Yeah. Lord Fenzix, your opening statement, please.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past decision. However, the innocent verdict afforded to this eccentric Nipponese before has had dire consequences.
And it, Van Siegs, no one fucking likes.
Did the accused repent for his wrongdoing in that affair? Far from it.
What wrongdoing? It was a case of mistaken identity.
Instead, he used his freedom to perpetrate a
Wrongdoing.
most blood-curdling crime. Namely, that of the attempted murder of his neighbouring lodger, an innocent Englishman.
Give this man a heart attack.
Yeah. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witnesses to the stand. We derobe early. The detective responsible for investigating the scene, and the accused himself.
Is it just me or does he look little?
Two witnesses. Witnesses. Your names and occupations, please. Oh, yes, sir. Tobias
Witness-
Gregson. Hey up. What's that?
Think. Why are you A-upping? Are you Yorkshire now?
Sorry, you're right. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division.
This is sticking that to me from the Empire of Japan. My government ordered me to come here as a student to study your language and culture.
Your lordship.
Yes. Sorry, your lordship is fighting a turret. Isn't it so right?
Yes, my lord, sir.
Quite sure I'm not mistaken. But you swore an oath never to set foot in my courtroom again. I remember it as if it were yesterday.
The day before.
Okay, Mr. Sassy Pants.
The day before, in fact, my lord. But close enough.
Believe me, this is the last place I want to be.
Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case for the court. Right you are, sir. The incident occurred at the Garrideb household, where the defendant has lodgings. In the ground floor room of the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare. The defendant
Hi.
is all... Oh,
Welcome back.
Hey, you there?
Hello.
Welcome back.
I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Discord decided to just die. So
Weird.
anyway, I've no idea what happened. It just dropped everything. Tried to log me back in, and then it came on to. I don't know. It put me back into the call, but I couldn't hear anyone, and I couldn't see the stream, so I just did a hard restart.
Weird.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Hmm.
On the plus side, I am getting a new laptop tomorrow, so this shouldn't be a problem after today.
Nice. They called Gregson and Soseki to the stand. That was about it.
Yeah. I'll show you the screen it froze on, which I was finding very funny before I got logged off.
Oh, okay. The defendant has already admitted to visiting the victim on the night in question. Mr. Shamspear collapsed in his room as a result of poisoning by strychnine. He was found the following morning when the landlord, suspecting something was wrong, broke down the door.
Making sense. This means, I presume, that the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident.
Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making entry to or exit from the room impossible. Although the victim, Mr. Shamspear, lives to tell tale, he very nearly didn't. The man was halfway to heaven when we first found him. I was the first officer on the scene, my lord. And I have a photographic print here that I took at the time to show how it looked. Thank you for the examination, your lordship.
Ah, yes, a chilling scene indeed. Indeed, and
Oh, it's in colour.
Chilling scene. The man looks very much deceased.
That's right.
There's
Everyone.
a wet patch.
It's on the
There
back
is a
of
wet
his neck.
patch.
There's a wet patch below the gas.
I think that's
I think
his
it's
ear.
a ribbon that's in his hair.
Yeah, he's got the two yellow things are his hair, and then that's
No,
his
there's like
ear, I think.
Is it? Oh
No,
my
no, the
god.
little-
Yeah, but like he was
I thought it
face
was a-
down when we got in.
I think it's a ribbon. I thought it was a ribbon in the back of his head.
I think it's
It's
his
his
ear.
it's his ear. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's turned
I'm-
sideways for some reason.
I'm more
How is
concerned
it
with the wet patch
Oh, I
below
see.
the gas
The gas meter,
What's with
yeah.
that? That
which
wasn't there when we were there.
got there. Yeah, like his face wasn't turned to the side either when we got here. It was like slow. It was like laying, like his face was down. You know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, quite right. Something's going on with this scene.
Something crazy.
Hmm.
Very well. Oh, I shall accept this photographic print as evidence for the court.
There we go. Shall we have
Nice.
a proper look? The zoom in.
Boom. Yeah, that's now.
That is.
It's still a weird
It's definitely
ear.
Yeah,
an
that's
ear.
an ear.
We got the soap, fork. Yeah, wet
lots of
patch.
things. Yeah. Patch. Can't click on it or anything.
No,
Pretty sure
okay.
that wasn't there when we examined. Yeah.
No, maybe it dried. Whatever it was. Could be important. Sorry, did you say this?
I did not say it. I
Sorry.
got distracted, being who I am.
No, weird.
Now then, no, there. What is the next one? How do I do it? Now then, Mr. Netsumai.
God, sorry, hang on.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
As the defendant, do you have anything to say at this juncture?
It wasn't me.
They're haunted by evil spirits.
Gracious. What's haunted?
My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside. My neighbor was poisoned. And me? What about me? I've nearly been killed countless times.
In the words of the philosopher Orville Richard Burwell CD, it wasn't me.
Killed Mr. Natsume. How?
Even on that fateful night, it happened. When I returned from Mr. Shamspeare's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed. But before long, the stove went out and somebody tried to kill me.
You must always extinguish all fires before retiring for the night, Mr. Natsume.
But it's so cold! My runny nose would freeze. Point is, I didn't poison my neighbor. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed?
Thank you, witness. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of what's happened.
If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point.
Inclusive. Go on.
Fortunately, the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, has regained consciousness after his ordeal. And he has named the true culprit.
Sure, it's fortunate.
The poison
It's very
consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. Tea, my lord, that was brought to the victim's room by the accused. Oh.
Oh no.
Order! Order!
Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. Yusoseki-san is innocent, then why? Why has the victim accused him?
Well, Mr. Natsume, what have you to say to this accusation?
This evening, yes. I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result. Never will I touch tea again. Never.
The public pump was frozen, you say?
That's not information we've heard before.
It will do. Thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense must have the opportunity to cross-examine the witnesses at least once.
It would be nice if the defense attorneys were allowed to do something in the trial.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Therefore, I'll call upon these witnesses now for a formal testimony. I presume the prosecution has no objection.
None whatsoever, my lord.
Don't be so obsequious. Good. Then you will give your account from North. You will give your account of events on the night in question to the court. Nay.
Yes, my lord.
All right, let's do some testimony.
Here we go.
Let's do. It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor, and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. Oh, my tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he?
Strychnine takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands.
Okay, I immediately want to press the poison being used.
Yes.
That's not one I'm familiar with, which is, unusual for me.
Strychnine.
Yeah, that's weird.
I actually looked it up out of interest. It takes. What does it say here again? Actually, no, it doesn't actually say how long it tends to take effect, but it says. Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm wrong. Respiratory failure, possibly leading to death, and brain death within 15 to 30 minutes following exposure.
Oof, God.
Seizures may occur within 15 minutes following exposure, and generally subside 12 to 24 hours following ingestion.
Okay.
Yes, I see. It all seems relatively straightforward.
Excuse me, but that testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Mr. Natsumi claims his tea to have been harmless, presumably, though. The teacups have been examined for traces of the poison, haven't they? Also, Fancies, I've been meaning to talk to you about your wasteful attitude towards your wine and glasses.
I'll let Gregson take this one. Well, as it happens, no. We haven't been able to.
Is it because we took the cups?
Fucking lawyer.
It almost
Fucking
certainly
Tweedledum and Tweedledee over there walked off with the cups.
I mean, that's on you for not, guarding the crime scene better.
Yeah, God.
Did I hear correctly? Inspector, Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspect substance.
Oh, God.
He's
Renouncing!
going in it.
Tiny idiot son of a idiot bitch.
Oh, lovable himbo.
Oh, he's bounced.
How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done?
My learned Nipponese friend is falsely incensed.
Very falsely.
The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea, not that it was overlooked.
Don't worry, they will spill it eventually.
Unable? Why?
What?
It's simple enough. There was none left. Not a drop.
Oh.
Oh, so
Someone must have been very thirsty indeed. With current scientific techniques, it's not possible to test for poison under such circumstances.
I mean, that's not technically true. You could definitely... You can add a drop of water with which you dilute what's in it. What's left. What traces are left on the inside of the cup. And use that.
Residue on the cups, but we did
steal the cups, yeah. We did.
We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough. I'll have a quick look at them. Don't know if we have yet. There you go.
Ooh.
Well, it's a nice pair. What can I actually look at?
Let's see the insides.
Yep. Bone dry.
The rings.
The green one.
This is the teacup from which Mr. Natsume was drinking.
But there's a rim. There's a line on the inside of the...
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's exactly what you're just saying here, Naruto. I will shut up. Please continue.
Yes. Unlike the other one, the inside of the cup is completely clean.
I suppose he must have drunk the contents before the tea had a chance to leave the mark.
I always gulp it down too.
Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold.
Clearly, I shall have to instruct you in the proper way to take tea.
Speak for yourself.
There you go. Yeah, there's indeed a ring.
A ring!
Is that it?
No.
This must be the cup that Mr. Shamster was drinking from then. It's stained on the inside.
Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea.
Oh, really? I've never noticed before.
Are we about to have the same conversation?
Probably.
You've never noticed. Call yourself a Japanese man? Playing it.
Yeah.
Cups would be the same.
Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it?
Oh dear. So many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture, and most of them are Japanese.
Stares at the camera.
Yes. We're playing this game in Japan too. There's
That one is definitely
Oh, we didn't
localized
examine
from
the
a
weird
jab in
thing.
the original Ash, the
Mm.
audience in Japan.
Yeah.
yeah. It's a bar of soap.
Let's examine that.
There's an indent.
Hey, what's happened to the thing in the middle?
Oh.
Hmm.
What is it, Mr. Naruhodo?
This bar of soap. When we first found it, I could have sworn there was some sort of round disc in this depression just here. A reddish one.
Yes, you're right. I remember it
Playing
too.
round discs in my depression. Not allowed to play frisbee when I'm not feeling.
But now depression is completely empty.
I tried so hard to make a joke and it was terrible. Please forgive me. That's more like it.
Good lord. Where could the disc have gone? It's evaporated.
Gone.
Hmm.
Torn off end of envelope. Yep.
There's nothing really there.
Is there anything in it?
Okay, we can examine the ragged edge somehow, but
Nothing quite in there, I don't
that's all you can
think.
examine.
Yeah.
Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they?
Scissors.
Okay.
Yes, whoever opened it was clearly
Been
someone with
using
an
their arm
unrefined
hands in a
temperament.
normal way.
I mean, I've never opened an envelope from that end.
And, judging from the angle of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed.
Susasu being the true Shomes in this.
Yes.
Good lord. Miss Susato, I think perhaps someone's been reading
Mr.
too
Soto,
much of the
assuming that everybody
Adventures of Sherlock
opens
Holmes.
an envelope facing the same. But what if they were
Hold on.
holding it the
Never.
other way? Then they could be left-handed.
Well, that's it.
Sweet. Sweet.
We get the
Girl.
map and we get the
Oh,
receipt.
I love her.
And there we go.
Nice.
And the lack of examination notwithstanding, it appears nothing other than the tea passed to the victim's lips on the night in question.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
See, thank you.
Didn't he eat soap
Thank you.
as well?
Admit it.
Like I was making a dick joke, but I think he also did eat soap.
Do you think he ate? I didn't. I thought. I don't know. I didn't. I thought.
There were teeth marks in the soap.
So we found the other bit, so he couldn't have eaten it.
I feel like he took a bite out of it though. It still gets some of it in your mouth. That's definitely going past your lips. Like that's where your teeth are.
That is where your teeth are. You're correct.
I mean, we're really good at anatomy, guys.
Yeah, it was so great.
Yeah, super good.
I see. Do I see? I see. Thank you.
Thank you.
The matter
The
is
matter
clear.
is clear.
I said it! Shut up! I said it! Oh, my connection is bad.
Oh dear. Hello.
I did say it. Never mind.
Yeah, you did say it. I heard you. Is my connection bad?
I can hear you fine.
No, I think yours is fine.
Huh. G?
Yes.
Okay. Let's carry on. See what happens. Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend.
What?
You can see it in their faces, I'm sure. And the recognition of the accused's guilt.
Half of them aren't even looking at him.
Your client's fate is all but sealed. In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
He's right. I can feel all 6 of the jurors looking daggers at me. No, you can't. Two of them aren't even looking anywhere. But I can't let them beat me down. I won't.
Something. Cancel. Oh, I don't know how to say that word. Cancel for the defence. Proceed with your cross-examination. There's always a danger that it's going to go to the beginning.
Yes, my lord.
Alright.
Right.
Can I make a point?
Can we please? Yes.
It is 20 past 11.
Yeah, I am getting very tired.
Oh, would
Cool.
you? Yeah. Would you like
Does
to
that happen?
call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
That is
got
fair
work
enough.
tomorrow,
That is fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
so- Yeah.
Well, there we go. We got a nice cross-examination to come back to.
Yeah, nice. Cool.
Excellent.
Pause a second, I'm sorry.
Stop doing that!
Getting his reps in.
He's getting his reps.
Ah!
Ah, poor guy.
Really straining.
Strychnine. How did I not pay attention to that?
Topping of the hat. Topping of the hat over and over again.
Milady.
It's how they did the gym in Victorian.
Well, there we go. Very nice.
Okay.
All right. When we pick up,
Excellent.
we'll be back. That's not sentence. Words.
Words,
Next time.
Sentence.
When we pick up, we'll be back.
Next
We'll be back
time.
next time, where we'll pick up here
Yep.
with this cross-examination
Same
of the...
that time.
And we'll
Same that channel.
greatly ace these attorneys.
We will
What
ace
the fuck is
them
happening on?
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That was fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it was.
Ooh, lovely.
As always.
Right,
As always.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sleep
We'll come
well,
back.
everybody.
Hopefully, we'll
Love you all. Take care of
save
yourselves.
Seki.
Yes. Good night. Sleep well. Love you all. Have a wonderful week.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.